Hi, this is Farel Dalrymple, and this is the next set of daily drawings. It's 235 through 240 something or other. You could read it in the description when I'm done recording. The first thing I have up is this Pilandok, and I don't have a time lapse of this because I was looking at my phone for reference, and that's what I use as a camera. But I have a link to what it is in the description of this video, and it's a species that's being hunted to extinction and having its habitat displaced and lots of sad things like that. I don't know, really, not trying to preach to anyone to do anything about it because it's, all the stuff going on in the world. It's kind of a weird hill to die on, but there was a baby born in captivity in a zoo in Warsaw, Poland, if that's any kind of good news. But yeah, it's just like a rare creature that I think's really cute and sad about, I think kind of being displaced a little bit in my emotions just because, I guess just state of the world or constant, same way it's always been. But I decided to spend my time this month doing, as these daily drawings, doing an alphabet with my little robot guy that I made up, Robot Todd. And so this is letter B, and I started doing these with first kind of outlining everything with a pen, but then I figured since I wanted all the letters to be consistent, that's like the main thing is the alphabet, and I'm doing it alphabet Todd, I don't know. It's a little, what do they call that? Portmanteau, right? I after a while I just started inking straight with a brush for the letter itself, and going in with a pen at times. It seemed like the last one I did yesterday, I just used a pen just a little bit. It was mostly done with a small brush. Two brushes actually. The Raphaël 8404, but it was like an old used one, so I wasn't getting the super fine points on it. And then I had like another newer brush that it's like a smaller one that I could get a little more easier to do detail. It's just I can do detail with the Raphaël 8404 number 4, but it's kind of easier for me if it's like a brand new brush, because you can get the tip really fine, and I have to be very aware of how I'm holding the brush, like straight up and down, almost like a sumi brush or something. And I can make, it's easier for me to make consistent lines that, are like thin lines, which is kind of how I like to do it. Not that there's anything wrong with doing big, thick, bold lines. I just, I don't know, my style or whatever. It just is more aesthetically pleasing to me. It's if I can get like, how thin can I make this line with this brush? So this is letter C, and I was struggling a bit with I just got a little too wrapped up. I need to learn to let stuff go a little more, but I got a little too wrapped up with the shadow area of the C, and I had to use like some gouache in there to smooth out the highlights, and in retrospect, it looked fine before I did that. So besides the theme being an alphabet, I wanted all the A is for atomic, B is for what did I do? What was B for? Bionic. That was it. Which I looked a little bit. I was like, oh, it's bio and electrical, and it kind of just sort of like I tried to sort of explode Robot Todd into little pieces like I've done, and he does it a couple of times in it. We'll have a few drawings in there of him doing that, and it just seemed like appropriate. I think I had a friend suggest bionic because I was sort of figuring out like what should B stand for. But I guess the idea was that these are all the letters, like the D is for dream or dreaming or dreams, and I put some ducks in there and stuff too. A couple of the D things. And so it's like I kind of wanted them all to sort of relate to Robot Todd in some way, like the story that I'm working on for him and his appearances, and It Will All Hurt, and he appears a little briefly in Proxima Centauri too. So E was for, I think it was like electromagnetism or something. You could read on if you just go to my Instagram too, I have all these posted as daily drawings. But I put in a bunch of E stuff in this one. I kind of went a little overboard, having an eagle and elliptical is that you can see the little, sphere going around the top of the E. And I can't believe I didn't do eternity. I should have done a little eternity symbol because that's something I actually use in drawings a lot. But I didn't think about it until like 4 days later. So it's kind of fun because I don't have these like planned ahead of time or anything. And I wanted to do like a little list where I'm like, okay, I'm going to write down, like pre-plan all of them little things. But if you're on my Patreon, if you want to make some suggestions of like, hey, I want this letter to be for this thing, I might not necessarily use it, but if I do use it, I mean, you can totally like buy that one if you want. A couple of people have already requested certain letters. I think a friend, Fernando, just actually asked me for the F, which, I like that idea too. That was kind of what I was thinking when I started this too, is that certain people on my Patreon might want them if that letter had some sort of significance to them. This G was actually Ghost was suggested by someone on Instagram. I put the word out and asked for suggestions because I was stressing out about it. And you can see here, it's a little more evident how that the streaking on the big black area on the letter, like that is the most challenging part about doing these for me, is it's something I wasn't even aware of at first, the first couple I did, but after a while I was like, oh man, I noticed when I scan these, the sheen on the, there's something in the acrylic ink that makes that is really hard. It's not like using watercolor or something. It's really hard for me to get like a consistent flat look. So I kind of have to do it like the first pass, and then if I go back and touch it up, it just always looks weirdly inconsistent. So it's like a weird detail that I've discovered doing these things. Because normally when I work in black and white, that I just bump the levels up, and it doesn't really matter because black is black. And when you're working with Photoshop and layers. Yeah, so I guess that's the video for this week. Thanks for watching. Check out my Patreon if you like, or you can do that as well as checking out my Instagram, or you can just watch it here too. Either way, any way you like. Okay, thanks. Bye.